vendredi soir, on a été au cocktail à la Réunion Stellaire, rencontrer les artistes et les acteurs. On a eu bien du plaisir, jasé super longtemps avec Michael Hogan, super généreux de son temps. Des photos à gauche, à droite, avec Jewell Staite, avec Richard Hatch, des poignées de main, bien du fun.
Tous les invités de Réunion Stellaire sont ravis d'avoir découvert le concept, ils sont ravis d'avoir pu, et ce soir encore, puisque ça va se passer, ils sont ravis d'avoir pu échanger avec le public, d'avoir eu un échange beaucoup plus humain, de découvrir une nouvelle façon de faire des conventions. Voilà ce qu'est Réunion Stellaire aujourd'hui. Réunion 51 à Trois-Rivières, on fait comme tous nos collègues des comic book stores, c'est-à-dire qu'on essaie de donner aux passionnés ce qu'ils ont envie d'avoir. Voilà, 51. Et puis, c'est aussi notre mandat d'aller plus loin, de vous proposer des événements comme vous avez pu voir et découvrir aujourd'hui. Donc la page Facebook, c'est Zone 51. Vous pouvez liker, découvrir, partager, et puis soyez à l'écoute de tous les prochains événements qu'on va essayer de vous proposer.
On arrête.
Vous n'êtes pas les vrais du film.
Oui.
Mais les gars du film sont à l'intérieur, c'est ça?
Pas de Star Wars, il y a des vedettes en dedans.
Il y a des vedettes en dedans, mais c'est pas de Star Wars?
Pas Star Wars.
How do you prepare to become Superman and to become Jewell? Well, I think largely a lot of my research, I guess, was done as a young child, watching Superman the movie and subsequent films. And given the fact that Superman Returns was loosely based on those films, a continuation, if you will, it was important that I bring some of that essence of what Chris did to my version of Superman. So that's, for a large part, pretty much all that I had to do, and I had done that. I had that kind of ingrained in me from watching so much as a kid. Well, I don't know that I actually wore that. Does it say that I wore it? Okay, well then I did. They might have been ones that I actually wore. I don't know. Very possible. I can touch it now if you want me to feel it. Dude, he licked that thing. No, I won't. Look at Brandon. Don't be, come on, don't be weird. Don't make it weird for everybody. Dude, she just got your DNA. She's gonna clone you now. Which episode of Stargate was the easiest to film and shoot? Which one was the hardest, and why?
Well, I would say one of the hardest ones for me was the submersion episode. Which, I don't know, by show of hands, how many people have heard the submersion story? Yeah, shut up. Your hand don't count. Okay, well here's the, do you want to hear the story? It's pretty funny. So I get a call from James Bamford, and he said, we're not going to use a stunt double for this episode, we're going to use you. How long can you hold your breath? And I'm like, well, let's practice right now. So I was like, well, about 60, almost a minute or whatever. And he's like, good, because we're gonna put you in the pool and you're underneath the water, and then when I tap on the side, you have to like slowly come out of the water, right? Very scary. And I'm like, okay, and it's this big crane shot, so it's really there, like where you are in focus is very specific. You have to come out of the water in this exact place because that's where the camera's focused on, and it's way over there. The big crane comes. Wait, dude, that's not even the fun part. Anyway, it comes all the way down like this. So we get it all set up. We're like, okay, awesome. They like take my hair and they like tie it to my pants, right, so that it doesn't float up. So my hair is tied to my pants. I've got leathers on. I've got this big thing. So I'm standing in a pool of water that basically just goes to my navel, and then I have to like crouch down. And they had like a stone that was there so I could feel exactly where my mark was. So I take a big breath, and boom, I go underneath the water. And I'm not down there more than 2 seconds when I realize that my mask is made of foam. Okay. I don't know if you remember from grade 2 science, but foam doesn't like to stay underwater. So the second I got underneath there, my face tried to take off from my head. And so I'm like, and it's trying to literally pull me out of the water. So I reach out and I grab onto this boulder that's supposed to be my mark, and I'm holding on to a 50-pound boulder, and it's starting to go like this. Like, my face is trying to take me and a 50-pound boulder out of the water, okay? But again, they wanted this, like, look at your face. That's incredible. And so, okay, I'm holding on to this boulder, it's starting to move, and at that moment, so my face is trying to take off, and it's glued, you know, all the way down to here, so everything's trying to, like, you know, it's coming right up. And that's when I realized that they wanted this kind of like a bump, you know, one of those in my hair, so they put a big foam piece in my hair, okay, in the wig. So now my face is trying to take off, and now the top of my head's trying to take off, but it is tied to my pants, okay? So now I have a leather wedgie because my pants are slipping, and I'm underneath there begging, like thinking, please bang on the side, please bang on the side. So I finally hear this, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to literally climb out of, like, nice, because you're supposed to, you know, come out real nice and slow. And if I let go of this thing, I'm gonna like, you know, so I'm like, how am I gonna get out of this water? So I basically had to, like, hold onto the boulder and roll it up my body so that it would keep me in the water until I could bring my face up. And I'm like, and they're like, cut! Awesome! For the second one, I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm not going back down there. So we had a one shot. So that was probably the hardest one.
My easiest one was this episode with Bob Picardo, where he's hearing voices, and it turns out to be this... Hi.
Welcome to our 8-hour panel.
Listen, for a show that was only on TV for 5 years, you guys are taking an awful long time answering a few questions. Waiting in the wings is a guy whose show was on for 10 years. And I'm sure has a few more interesting things to say. So maybe some of the booze we could kind of pick up the pace here, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could jump in here because I was on Atlantis. And Universe.